a program that we introduced in the school department just about a year ago. We started planning this a couple of years ago. The goal was to be able to reach out to a population of students that are not in the Revere public schools. We have early childhood to a limited degree in the district. It's not enough for us to reach and have seats for every child. So where there are about 650 kids in a cohort that enters full-day kindergarten, we're only able to handle about 200 students in a part-time early childhood program. In a community where education is critical and time on task is critical for students in order to close the gap, to close an achievement gap, we worked about thinking of ways that we could interact with 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds that we don't have room for in our schools. And along with Footsteps to Brilliance, we developed an innovative strategy to enlist students that live in Revere to enter into an agreement with us to use this software package, this application that can be accessed through any device, a smartphone, a tablet, an iPad, a computer, whether it be Mac or DOS-based. In this program, when we enlist students, enroll them through the Parent Information Center, any 3-year-old and 4-year-old, and we're here today primarily to get that word out. We have a number, we have hundreds actually of children using the program now, many of whom are not in the Revere Public Schools yet. But this program, when they're using it, not only engages them individually, but it gives us an ongoing look at their progress. So it bookmarks everything they're doing along the way from 3 years old to 4 years old, so that when they come to us, if they weren't fortunate enough to get into early childhood, and they continue to work on their footsteps to brilliance, along with people that we have to engage them and to help them see how it works and how often it works, we can, when a student enters kindergarten, have a full portfolio of their progress and footsteps to brilliance and how far they've moved along the continuum and what their reading level is on the first day they get there. We can sift through all that, the names and data, and actually target that account for an individual student to a teacher who is going to be working with that child. So over the summer, the teacher gets an opportunity to take a look at all of the students, or any of the students that are using Footsteps, and get an actual idea of what their reading level is, how much they've engaged the vocabulary, and what they've been doing. We feel that this innovation is a potential gap closer in the sense that we can get 3 and 4 years old engaged along with their parents into a program that is going to instruct them and show them the finer pieces of everything that we need them to foundation themselves with. We adopted this program in such a way that we bought an umbrella, and that umbrella will take any student or potential student living anywhere in Revere and set them up with an account. All the folks have to do, and we have flyers and we have posters to help people understand how to enroll. And anyone can enroll that lives in the city just by going to the Parent Information Center down at the Beachmont School, or sending us an email, any one of the staff in the Revere Public Schools an email, and we'll put Footsteps to Brilliance staff members that we have working in this area and connect them with the parents and students so the accounts are set up. The accounts we have the ability to monitor, so as students are using the account, After a few months, if we see the student has lost interest in it, we can engage the parent with a phone call or an email and try to reignite the student and the importance of using the program so that they won't be behind when they start in kindergarten. With this, we really see an opportunity. If the adults in the community can get to the point where we invest ourselves in Footsteps to Brilliance and we make it a cause for all 3- and 4-year-olds in the city to engage in this utility, into this innovation, then we will foundation kindergarten with students that are achieving at a higher level before. And what happens, first grade teachers then will be able to do more in second grade teachers. That one of the dramatic differences, and as you know, Revere received the National Center for Urban Transformation Award about 3 weeks ago in San Diego. And one of the reasons for that increase, one of the reasons for that award, the cohort of students that are testing now at the high school were the first students that went through full-day kindergarten in Revere. Up until that point, it was half-day kindergarten. So when the kindergarten teachers started getting those students 11 and 12 years ago for the first time all day long, they could raise the bar after kindergarten to a higher level, and then each group, first grade teachers, second, third, fourth, through middle and through high school, where they are now, receive students that got a whole half year. That's sort of a wrong statement, isn't it? They got a half year more of education than students before them. And as a result, it's the reason why we've closed some of that gap, that achievement gap between what is considered urban districts and other districts, because we've went to that full-day kindergarten model. Similarly, if we can get students to enter into a partnership with us for Footsteps to Brilliance, think about the power that that will bring to the kindergarten classroom when kids are already pre-reading, reading, writing stories, and everything you can do with the program that we will show you today. So I'm going to turn it over to Mayor Rizzo, and he's going to have a few words, then we're going to get into the idea and show you what this thing actually looks like. Mayor Rizzo?
Dr. Dakin, thank you very much. And Eileen, thank you so much for being here. A very proud day for our city and recognizing a lot of the great work that, that happens within our school department, particularly with our young kids. And this is so great to see them right in front of us doing some good work right here, right now. So I want to, before I just say a couple of words, I'd like to acknowledge some of my colleagues on the school committee, as well as other elected officials here in the room. We have former superintendent of schools and school committee member Carol Ty. Susan Gravelisi. Dan McGuire. Donna Wood Pruitt. Stacy Rizzo, Michael Ferranti, and from the City Council, actually our City Council President, Tony Zambuto. So I'd first like to congratulate our Superintendent, Dr. Dakin, for partnering with Footsteps to Brilliance to create a model innovation city that focuses on citywide literacy. A model, and this is all kind of, this is something that I had to brush myself up on because I wasn't 100% sure how the model innovation city fit in with the Footsteps to Brilliance, and it's a conversation I had with Eileen earlier, but you know, a model innovation city, for the edification of my colleagues or Council President Zambuto, anyone else here that may not be familiar, is a citywide literacy solution that addresses the reading dilemma, the third grade reading dilemma, by utilizing Footsteps to Brilliance mobile technology platform to cost-effectively scale pre-K through third grade literacy to every family within the school district's jurisdiction. Now, Dr. Dakin oversees a school district where funding and building space limitations only allow him to accommodate, as he alluded to, about a third of the kids looking to enter pre-K. Realizing these limitations, Dr. Dakin leveraged the power of Footsteps to Brilliance to reach the parents of children not enrolled in this highly desired pre-K program. Without expending resources to build additional infrastructure, we were able to expand our pre-K capacity quickly, changing the literacy environment so that underserved children entering kindergarten with the prerequisite that will have the prerequisite skills needed for academic success. Early education is not just a tool that has impacts on student learning, but it's also a smart urban revitalization strategy. Preparing students at an early age and giving them every possible chance for success can have impacts on our community similar to large-scale economic development projects, and these numbers can be quantified. I'd like to cite the Perry Preschool longitudinal study in which 123 3- and 4-year-olds living in or at the poverty level were studied and followed. Half of them received high-quality preschool programming, while the other half did not. The latest report, released in 2004, found continuing positive long-term effects on those children who received the high-quality early childhood care and education. The study documented a return to society of more than $17 for every dollar that was spent on early care and education, primarily because of the large continuing effect on the reduction of male crime, but also taking into consideration graduation and employment rates. We truly believe that the future of Revere's economic potential hinges upon our ability to integrate our diverse and vibrant community into our first-rate educational system at an early age. And by partnering with Footsteps to Brilliance, Dr. Dakin and the Revere Public Schools are now able to leverage mobile technology that most parents already own to create a transformative early learning model. Obviously, as mayor, I'm very, very proud to continue down this long-standing path of leadership and innovation to maximize results for every student enrolled in Revere Public Schools. Thank you very much.
Our students have been using the program for a complete year now, and actually some of them started last year. And I want to thank, before we go into this, I want to thank Paul Amato from the school department for putting together this video. It's a 5-minute video of Footsteps to Brilliance in action. So for a 5-minute, we can turn to the TVs, and Paul Amato's work will sort of give us an idea of exactly how this device, this innovation, this application, this app, this computer program works with students. Paul Dakin, Superintendent of Schools, and a number of our community members are going to be talking to you about a new program we're putting in place throughout the community. It's called Footsteps to Brilliance, and it's our attempt to blanket the city of Revere and all of the youngsters that are not old enough to get into kindergarten or early childhood programs with a reading program that they can participate in, that our teachers will be able to help them through.
The way I use Footsteps to Brilliance in the classroom is I have it set up during center time. So I have about 5 students that are using iPads and regular computers. They're logging on using their super secret code, which is given to them at the beginning of the school year. And they very quickly are able to memorize that code and log on their own. and then they're using the different stories that are on there that they get to choose on their own, as well as working with the games that are geared for sight words and reading comprehension.
It allows children to be exposed to a lot of vocabulary words that they may not hear at home. It does this through books, and it does this through the games that the program has to offer.
Hi, I'm Mrs. O'Connell, and today you're visiting Mrs. O'Connell's kindergarten class. And we're here to demonstrate how we use footsteps. And we're going to be doing a story, The Full Moon Parade. And basically what Footsteps does for our class and for our children, it's for vocabulary, comprehension, critical thinking, writing, and also student achievement.
Being an integrated program that we have in Revere, I've noticed that Footsteps has truly impacted the children who are on IEPs by using the program as a whole group. They've truly have picked up the program and have benefited from it.
So this resource would be appropriate for you if you have a child who's not already in preschool, like my son. He is 4 and he's in a family daycare. So Footsteps for Brilliance is an app that allows you, that you can use either on a laptop, on an iPad as you see here, or on a smartphone, and it's a way to help kids build vocabulary, get creative with drawing, and that type of thing.
What are we looking at? What are those called? Very good.
Lambs.
Very good. All right. And Shema, you want to come up and show me what the lambs are doing?
Way to go. You are a star. Wow, good job. Wow, good job.
Bueno, a mí me encantó mucho este programa, Footsteps to Brilliance, porque le está ayudando mucho a mi hijo a aprender español y también a entender más las palabras en inglés. Y a mi hija mayor también le gusta, ellos lo ven juntos todos los días. Y me encanta porque es tan fácil de utilizar, incluso él puede entrar con su código muy fácil, él se sabe las fotografías que salen y él se sabe todo el password y entra y le fascinan los libros porque es muy interactivo. Cuando uno toca los animalitos se mueven o alzan el sonido y eso es muy interesante.
Footsteps to Brilliance is a very good program that was bought by the city of Revere to help our children. It's a very, very interesting program. All the kids, and including my child, is very excited about it. She learned a lot about it already. I encourage every family, please use this program. It helps our children to achieve better goals, to be a very, very good in the future when they go to kindergarten, first grade, and other levels.
A lot of times, you know, like my daughter is in first grade right now, and she oftentimes wants to bring the computer resources that they have at the school at home. And this is one of the tools that is available both in school and outside of school.
Footsteps to Brilliance is an online program that can be accessed from any smart device or computer. So when they come to us in kindergarten, they will be readers. Thank you.
We love Footsteps!
Just a word here. One of the things we've found that this program is very effective with our bilingual students. You know, when they get home and they're back into their native language, this is a resource that they can have that is re-emphasizing sight words, sentences, their letters, the alphabet, and we've found tremendous gap closing with it. We've even heard from some of our immigrant parents that they like to use it themselves because it starts to tune them into when they're watching their children use the program, they're catching on to the reading exercises themselves. So at this point in time, I'm going to sort of wing it here because I don't know actually what's happening. Eileen, you might be able to help me out here. There's some there's some dignitaries that are going to present some awards to.
Definitely, thank you. I guess I will have the honor of introducing some very important people here. I'd like to start, is Senator Petrocelli here today? Oh, okay, great, great, great. Well, this is wonderful. So,
wow, right on cue, huh? Sorry I was late. First day, my son graduated from kindergarten on Friday. So it's his first day, no school, but my daughter still has 2 days left. And so that trying to get out of the house thing is difficult. Everyone knows that. But good morning, everyone. Just very briefly, I was just wanted to be able to come by and congratulate the mayor, the superintendent, the city of Revere on doing wonderful things for our kids in education and wish them continued success. I've on occasion been able to go by and see the different ways of teaching, the different methods that the leader of the Revere schools is always trying to bring to the kids and to the teachers in Revere. The first innovation school in the entire state of Massachusetts at Paul Revere, the infusion of iPads and new ways of teaching our kids at Revere High School and continuing here with this new program for reading for K-3 is really remarkable. I'm privileged to represent the city of Revere with such great leaders like the mayor, the members of the council and school committee, and our leader at our school, Superintendent Dakin. So Dr. Dakin, congratulations and best of luck. I'll just read one of the citations, right? I'll spare you reading both. To Superintendent of Revere Public Schools, Dr. Paul Dakin, in recognition of your leadership role in unveiling an innovative city-wide early learning reading initiative through the use of mobile technology. Congratulations, best of luck. I think the same is for Mayor. And this is for Mayor Rizzo.
the absolutely wonderful thing about becoming a model innovation city is that really it affects the entire city, and we are so fortunate to have another representative from Revere here, and it's State Representative Rosalie Vincent, and she's going to present her citations to both Dr. Dakin and Mayor Rizzo. So may I ask both Dr. Dakin and Mayor Rizzo to come on stage?
Well, this is another wonderful day in the city of Revere. The school department, I applaud Mayor Rizzo and Dr. Dakin, the school committee, for partnering with Footsteps to Brilliance, using 21st century technology to teach children the importance of reading while making it fun to learn. I'm extremely proud of our city leaders for bringing this innovative program to Revere. This investment will truly make a difference in the lives of our students. So thank you, Dr. Dakin. Thank you, Mayor Rizzo and school committee for all your hard work. And here's a couple of citations from the House of Representatives. Be it hereby known to all that the Massachusetts House of Representatives offers its sincerest congratulations to Mayor Dan Rizzo in recognition of your efforts in developing Model Innovative City, a citywide early learning reading initiative using smartphones, tablets, and computers. The entire membership extends its very best wishes and expresses hope for the future and continued success in all endeavors, given the 16th day of June, 2014 at the State House, Boston, Massachusetts, by Speaker of the House, Robert A. DeLeo, and myself, Rosalie Vincent. Thank you and congratulations.
Well, so many of you know Katherine Clark, who was a state representative and now is in the U.S. House of Representatives. She unfortunately had a conflict today, was unable to come, but Anthony Moreschi is going to present her citation to, again, the mayor and the superintendent in her place. Thank you for coming up.
Yeah, thank you for having me. As she mentioned, the Congresswoman couldn't be here today, but as many of you know, early education is her passion. It's always been and remains so in Congress. So it was very important for me to be here to present these citations to Dr. Dakin and Mayor Rizzo. And they read, the Honorable Katherine Clark, 5th Congressional District, Massachusetts, a certificate of special congressional recognition presented to Mayor Dan Rizzo and Dr. Dakin in recognition of your work to promote an innovative early reading initiative in the city of Revere on June 16th, 2014.
I now would like to call up Barbara Bishop, who is here to represent Speaker of the House, Robert DeLeo.
Thank you. Unfortunately, the Speaker is not able to be here this morning. The House will be in session in about 20 minutes. But he wanted me to wish everyone, extend every congratulations to both of you, to the city, to the school committee, and to the 4 students that we have here, who are the recipients of this great program. And it's so nice to see them. I won't read these citations because Representative Vincent has read the citations that she presented. But I'd like to say congratulations to Dr. Dakin.
Thank you.
On behalf of the Speaker, and congratulations to Mayor Rizzo. And keep up the wonderful work. I am so proud when I have to represent the Speaker at events in Revere. Revere is such a great city, a world-class city, not just because of its beaches, but because of its educational system. So thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
There are other citations, people who couldn't come today, so I'll just tell you that there has been word from Governor Deval Patrick, from Senator Elizabeth Warren, and from Senator Ed Markey, all of whom are sending their congratulations and their citations that I'll give to both the mayor and the superintendent afterwards. I think at this part, it's now my part of the program. So I want to first of all tell you that I am so excited to be here. I am so excited because I am here with 2 of the most innovative people who are really doing things to transform education in a way that needs to be done. So just to give you a little bit of background, I have spent 25 years working on developing educational technology that can really improve the lives of children and their families. And I've never been so excited as I am now because mobile technology is truly a game changer. Now I'm going to ask somebody to turn on the PowerPoint, if they will, so that we can begin the presentation. But Revere is truly a model innovation city. And what it means to be a model innovation city means basically that you are willing to take a risk to do something new, to do something transformative and innovative, and then really work and partner and see that everything ends up leading to success. So we're going to talk about Revere, a model innovation city, and how Revere is using mobile technology to really prepare all their children for 3rd grade reading proficiency. But to do this, you have to start, of course, before the child even gets to school, and that's the key. As we already said, we have fabulous leaders here in Revere, and I want to commend the mayor, I want to commend Superintendent Dakin for taking the risk with us. We have been so delighted to partner with you, and the results have been spectacular. By the way, for every $1 spent on early learning, on quality early learning, there's a $17 return. So this is cost effective in many ways for the city. Now, what are the issues nationwide that we're dealing with? I was shocked several years ago when I read a Kellogg Foundation report that said nearly half of our children today in the United States enter kindergarten at risk of failure. And that when they get into school, actually, for 88% of them, the gap widens, it doesn't close. That meant that we were throwing away 40% of our children by the time they were age 5. I knew something had to happen. Now, we also know that poverty plays in so much to how a child is going to succeed or not. And part of the reason for this is that in many low-income homes, they really do not have books. And we know that there's a need for multilingual education, and that we have to really educate the parent, educate the whole family. There has to be a school-home connection. Now, what is the research? Many of you have heard about the 30 million word gap. Two researchers named Hart and Rizzo several years ago did longitudinal studies, and the study showed that by the age of 4, an at-risk child has heard 30 million fewer words than their more affluent counterpart. What this means is that they enter school with only 25% of the vocabulary they need to be successful. And recent research from Stanford University shows that this also affects the language processing power, so that an at-risk child and a child who's been surrounded in a literacy environment, right? If you say, look at the dog, it's going to take several seconds longer for the at-risk child to process the language and look. By that time you've said the dog is on the sofa. Well, this child now knows dog and sofa, and this other child is still processing look at the dog. Now you can imagine how that happens when you get into your school and people are talking and moving at a certain pace. The good news is that you can speed up this processing. You can speed it up by really immersing children in a literacy environment. So the key at Footsteps to Brilliance isn't how can we help 1 to 200, 250 children. The real issue is how are we going to transform the early learning environment in a way that's really going to make a district-wide or a city-wide impact. I'm going to show you a quick 1.5-minute video, and I think it's going to explain this.
As a superintendent of public schools, you know that students who do not read proficiently by 3rd grade are likely to drop out of school or end up in jail. While trying to address the 3rd grade reading dilemma, you're probably facing one or more of these challenges. Students with a 30 million word gap. Parents who don't read to their children, inadequate funding, and changing student demographics. You know you need to do something differently, but you don't know what that is. Here's the good news. 80% of parents own mobile devices today. What if you could leverage these devices to make early learning solutions accessible to everyone in your school, district, and city? Wow, now you can. Footsteps to Brilliance has invented a transformative mobile platform that allows you to create a model innovation city. What's a model innovation city? It's a turnkey, citywide literacy solution that allows you to cost-effectively scale educational apps to the entire city, provide parents with bilingual tools to become their children's first teachers, track real-time data to help every child succeed. How does a model innovation city work? Our unique platform instantly turns on every mobile device in your city. You don't spend money on additional hardware. You provide award-winning literacy curriculum to every family. You get results.
So that gives you just an overview of how transformative this is. The fact that it reaches beyond the school, the four walls of the school. It really breaks it down, while at the same time having the school be the center with which they can outreach to the families, to the parents. Well, Revere was the very first school district to adopt Footsteps to Brilliance in Massachusetts. We have several others now. And in the last 2 years, we talked about a 30 million word gap. The Revere students have interacted with over 42 million words. So I want to, first of all, congratulate Revere. They've read over 100,000 books. Again. And they've used this program for almost 10,500 hours. Now, there's about 1,000 hours in a normal school year. So you really can see the increased time on task. And at the end of the day, there was a report years ago called Prisoners of Time, and it said, you can have all the reform efforts in the world, but if you don't have more time on reading, language arts, and mathematics, you're not going to make the difference that we really need. So what Footsteps to Brilliance does, it has several libraries. So one library is called ALPS, which stands for the Academic Language Student Program for Students. And this features a series of books that develop the 1,000 most important words that children need to have a very powerful reading and writing vocabulary. And it's connected to over 320 learning games, which really assess that the children have learned what they've been working on. We have a STEM series called Alphabet Animals. This is our nonfiction series that spirals the learning so that the children get to learn about animals, but they're personalized. So it's Allie the alligator and Kathy the caterpillar. And by the way, Rudolph the reindeer. Did you know that reindeers actually do have red noses? Read the book. Okay. Then we have a series of foundational skill building games. I call this the Candyland approach, which is we take whatever it is, whatever foundational skill the child needs, and they see themselves progressing step by step by step until they gain mastery of those discrete skills that they need, all of course in fun games. And the karaoke nursery rhymes are one of our new libraries of books. By the way, as a partner with Revere, we're always building new content. As we build new content, this is something that Revere gets. There's never going to be a charge for it. So that we can keep working with learning what your teachers tell us is important and developing the content for it. So the karaoke nursery rhymes we're very excited about because if you want to develop fluency and vocabulary, singing is a wonderful way to do that. And so these are all the classic nursery rhymes that the children sing, but there's also get a chance to then understand what it is they mean. For the teachers, we have Common Core lesson plans and a professional learning community where everything in our program can actually be printed out as a flashcard. So you can now make games away from the computer to reinforce what's going on in the classroom. And we have been very fortunate in our 2 years in business, we've already gotten 5 very prestigious awards. The latest one was from the National Parenting Publications Award. They made us a gold winner and wrote us up as being the best educational software for students for this past holiday season. So we were very excited about that. With this, I'm going to actually go live and show you a little bit about what Footsteps to Brilliance looks like. But before I do that, I want to just acknowledge 2 people who are here. Katherine DeRosa, would you stand up, please? Katherine is our Director of Curriculum and Implementation. She's a college professor, has run her own early learning schools, and we're just so delighted to have her. And she is a familiar face to the teachers in Revere. And I want to also introduce Robert Mio. Robert, if you'll stand, please. And Robert is our regional director, and he really makes sure that everybody is taken care of extremely well. If you ever have any questions, he's the man to go to. I want to thank you both for being here today. Okay, so I'm going to show you a super secret code. Only the children get the super secret code for any adult here. And with 4 easy interfaces, they can sign in.
Turtle, elephant, apple, cat.
And just to show you very quickly, we've got libraries of books. So this is the academic language program for students. Now, we talked about the fact that many children have no books in their home. As you can see, now they have full libraries. So I'm going to start with this book, Full Moon Parade. I want to ask the children, have any of you ever read the book Full Moon Parade? You have? Yeah? Anybody else read Full Moon Parade? Yeah? Okay, do you like the book? Great. So let me show you a little bit about the book. First of all, the learning objective of this book is the name of animals, cow and calf, the sounds they make, and counting 1 to 10. But I want to show you some of the features. First of all, the children can have the book read to them, and when they do, each word is highlighted.
The room is quite full. The plans are all made. No one wants to miss the full moon parade.
But they also can stop language and time.
The moon is quite full.
And this is really crucial because think about it, many of us, my age, we couldn't do this. Now the children can actually start intuiting the phonics, the sounds of language. Now, the other thing that we do is step by step. It's one thing technologically to put a book up in English and then have a toggle switch and put the book up in Spanish. But we do this page by page so that you really can develop the schema. So if a parent wanted to, they could.
La luna está bien llena. Los planes ya están hechos. Nadie quiere perderse el desfile de la luna llena.
Okay, so they can also hear each word. Now, I told you about the learning objectives, but let me tell you about the story. This is a story about baby animals who are a little bit naughty. They don't want to go to bed. They want to have a full moon parade. So in order to have this full moon parade, they first of all have to have a little conspiracy, right? You've got to talk about it. So we're going to contextualize what the children are reading on each page. So here's the conspiracy. There's always a villain, right? So the animals rise, they tiptoe, they creep. Where's Farmer Black in his bed fast asleep? And how are they going to make the animals tiptoe and creep? I bet the children know this. And one calf takes the lead. She knows not to speed. We're developing musical idioms at the same time, right? 2 ponies look fine. They get into line, and we're going to keep going. Well, let me show you how we get the chicks to peck and pick. There's a lot of alliteration. They know to be quick. Right? 8 puppies give chase. They roll into place. We're going to keep going. The animal parents line up side by side. They watch all their babies parade by with pride. Pride is such a wonderful tier 2 word. Look how these adult parents are showing pride in their children. The horse goes neigh and the goat goes ma. This is my personal favorite. The pig goes oink. And the sheep goes ba, right? And we're going to keep going. All right, so under Common Core, the squirrels and the hens dance with great glee.
Then everyone stops. Who do they see?
And under Common Core, we know prediction, right? So let's see what happens to the animals. So does any child in the audience know who they're going to see? Yes, who are they going to see? Farmer Black, you are so good. All right.
The farmer is standing right under the moon.
Quiet!
He shouts.
It will be morning soon. Quiet!
The moon is still full, but you won't hear a peep. Where are the animals? In their beds, fast asleep.
So look how the animals are faking you out. Can you see how they're winking at you? Now, I never like to do this as a musician, but I'm going to end there. I'm not going to end at the final stanza because of time.
The end. Footsteps to brilliance. Big brains for little people. What would you like to do next?
Now, it's not enough just to read the book, right? Now the question is, what did you really focus on in the book? So we have something called Book Buddies, and Book Buddies is differentiated by level. At the first level, it's going to be just recall.
What animal is first in the parade?
Now, every time the child is exposed to a word, we're going to be collecting that data.
Pony, piglet, calf, kid.
Now, I bet the kids know who was first in the parade. Who was first in the parade? Yeah? The calf, that's right. But if you didn't know who was first in the parade, do you know what you'd do? You'd want to go back and look at the book, right? So you use the hint button. Let me show you what happens. They can open that up. They can hear the calf. Notice take the lead is an idiom so that there's no, they're really getting rich vocabulary. And then they're going to put?
Wow, you're doing a great job.
When we go to level B, why did the animals tiptoe and creep? Right? It was a full moon. They didn't want to wake Farmer Black. Their feet hurt. This is how they dance. Well, when we open up the book,
The animals rise, they tiptoe, they creep. Where's Farmer Black? In his bed, fast asleep.
right? So this is what we call inference, right? It doesn't say that.
They didn't want to wake Farmer Black. Congratulations.
And at level C, they actually start writing with open-ended questioning. Now, I'm just going to show you there are additional games. We won't go through all of them, but this is one that even the adults might have fun with. So Wordwall is going to work on their spelling. Picture Perfect is going to work on, in this case, one-to-one, if they can recognize the number and connect it to the number of objects. But in Mighty Matches, we have different levels. At level 1, for any of but you who have played concentration, it's going to just,
Horse.
you're going to try to turn over. When you go to the next game, though, you can keep going on and on, building up vocabulary, building up short-term memory, building up mathematical skills. And by the time you're here, and by the way, this could be in English or in Spanish, by the time you're here, if you can do this, you know this vocabulary. You've got it. At level B, they're going to start actually associating the words with the picture. And many children the teachers tell me, have told their teachers that they have a strategy. If they're not reading yet, their strategy is first to hit the word. So what a wonderful way to do it. And again, they're getting the first sounds, the last sounds, and beginning to understand this thing we call print. And at level C, they're going to put it all together. Now, there is a pièce de résistance, and that is that the children are going to be exposed to hundreds of books now that have been written by famous authors, but they are now going to be asked to write their own books. So in this case, it was a counting story. Can you make up a story using animals? Now, some children love writing. I saw that we have some real budding authors here. Sometimes they want to use the backgrounds that were in the book and then put in the characters, which they can do, and then they can do their writing. And I think I missed the capital, but hopefully you'll forgive me here. Or they may decide to do their own, as I saw that one of the children here was doing to do their own drawing. And I'm going to put in my animals here, make this one a little smaller. That's too small. Oops. Okay, not going to do that. And when they hit done, they now have books that they can print, that they can share with the class. If they're too young to write, somebody can write and they can retell the story. The retelling of the story is fabulous for building up vocabulary, for beginning to get organizational skills. And you can email it to your parents or your grandparents. And of course, it creates an online portfolio for the teacher and for the school. I'm going to very quickly show you just one other library, which I'm very happy about. And it's a good note for me to end my section because I used to be a music teacher, so we're going to have to get some music in. But this is going to show you all of these different rhymes. This one's the Itsy Bitsy Spider, and I'm going to show you a jazz, a blues iteration of the Itsy Bitsy Spider sung with harmony, which the children get, and then show you what the children get to do. Now, if the children need to slow that down, we now take it sentence by sentence. You get the idea? And I am not going to sing, but they can record themselves singing it, and they can hear any word. And then they get the ability, anything that they touch is going to reinforce the vocabulary.
Flowers.
Or they could do the same in Spanish. And of course, this can all be sung in Spanish. Okay, with this, I want to first of all thank you so much for being here. And I would like to turn the program over now to Jennifer Messier, who is a kindergarten teacher who's been using this program with her wonderful students, some of whom are here today.
Good morning. This is my second full year using Footsteps with my classroom. This year, I have to say, last year was more of a learning year. This year, it's definitely been a much more, a tool that I've used much more frequently and really got a lot out of the program this year. We use it whole group and small group daily. At the beginning of the year, I use it a lot to introduce comprehension skills with my class. We do it on the smart boards, which are another wonderful piece of technology we have in the schools. It really allows you to develop vocabulary for the children. As many of you know, at the McKinley, we have a high level of second language learners. So Footsteps provides us another tool to develop the English language vocabulary for our students. Each book is offered in Spanish and in English. So for our students who are learning the second language, concepts can be introduced in Spanish and then reintroduced in English, providing a nice bridge between the two languages. The students get very excited about using the program. It's very interactive, as you had seen from the demonstrations. They really, really enjoy hearing the music that goes along with it. It really helps them on their own reading levels, where they can listen to the whole story, or they can go piece by piece to really learn how to track language and learn word boundaries and develop vocabulary. The games that come at the end of each book really help them develop those comprehension skills. It allows them to actually show what they're learning from the books while also hitting those common core comprehension skills that they need. we use it in small groups each day during our reading centers, and you can hear, the songs going off or the noises that the animals are making, but the best part is really seeing the students engaged, fully engaged in every part of the program. And I have actually seen this year a big jump in vocabulary development with my students. They are more apt to use the vocabulary that they've learned from the stories. They are much more inclined to participate and take risks using the vocabulary, and I think it's because of the exposure they've had, seeing it again and again with the program. And the parental piece at home, the home support piece, is key. This program really allows parents to get involved in their child's education. And each year, for the last 2 years, I've sent home their super secret codes right at the beginning of the year. And I can go on and see who's using the program at home. And you would be amazed at how much time the parents are putting in with their students at home. They really enjoy using the program. And it's a nice bridge for parents, especially some of our parents who don't have books at home or who may be learning English themselves. It gives them a tool to use with their children and be able to connect with their children through the games and the books. So it is a wonderful program. The students are very excited about it, and we're very happy to have it in our classrooms. So thank you.
That's Tonya Duramo, who's the director of Title I, to talk to us about what she has seen with Footsteps.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank the teachers who are in the video, Laura DeLuca, who's here, Lois O'Connell, and Lisa Piccadacci. With our school year ending next Tuesday, June 24th, we encourage students to enjoy their time off from school, but also to enjoy their summer. We, the City of Revere, also encourage students to continue reading. It is estimated that the school summer break will cause an average student to lose up to 1 month of instruction. That is what researchers often refer to as the summer slide. To avoid the summer slide, we have sent home to families a summer reading list with books and programs to encourage reading, to increase your child's vocabulary and comprehension to avoid the summer slide. To help with that, we're also going to be opening our elementary school libraries on Tuesdays from 9 to 11:30, beginning July 1st through August 25th. And we are also working with the Revere Public Library to promote our summer reading. Many of our school libraries also have the computers in their locations that will allow students to use the homeschool programs like Footsteps to Brilliance. Students visiting the libraries and the Revere Public Library will also receive a raffle ticket for every Tuesday that they visit to win a backpack filled with school supplies. In addition to the backpack raffle, Footsteps has put out a challenge to our Revere students. Dr. Dakin is going to come up and now speak about the 1,000,000-word challenge from Footsteps. Do you want to...
I don't know where it is.
Oh, we don't know.
Yeah, I'll get
But while they're readying the technology, I'd ask Mayor Rizzo, we have been working with Footsteps for a while, actually, when this was being thought out and worked on, and it's still emerging even. We've done a lot of work contributing. So Eileen has been very patient with us in this process, and as a result, the mayor has something he wants to award Eileen with.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dakin. I think Dr. Dakin and I have received enough awards today, so I think now is a good time to acknowledge what you've meant to our school department. And let me just say this, as mayor of the city, and as somebody who became mayor coming from the city side of government, I served 12 years in the city council. And one of the most rewarding and gratifying things for me so far during my first few years as mayor has been to have the opportunity to go in and out of the different elementary schools, middle schools, and obviously the high school, and see the great work that's being done there. You know, Dr. Dakin mentioned the fact that Revere High School was recognized as the #1 urban high school in the nation by the National Center for Urban School Transformation, which is a tremendous honor, and it's such a credit and testament to the great work that's being done at the high school. But, you know, I know Dr. Dakin and I do not lose sight of the fact that these kids come from our elementary schools and our middle schools, and so that work is just transcending into the high school. And to see a program like this, and just to watch these kids here today during this entire presentation and how engaged they are, and the learning that's taking place seemingly continuously almost. I mean, these kids, they obviously enjoy the program immensely, and but I see it when I walk into the classrooms, how engaged the kids are, how engaged the teachers are in learning and interacting with the children, and that includes our paraprofessionals as well. It's really, really such a great privilege to preside over a city that has such a dedication to education and has, in my opinion, the best teachers and administrators anywhere. So with that, I want to thank you, Eileen, for bringing Footsteps to Brilliance to the city of Revere. And this is just a small token of our appreciation. It's a certificate of commendation, and it's in recognition, in acknowledgement and recognition of your partnership with Revere Public Schools in the innovative citywide early learning reading initiative in the use of smartphones, tablets, and computers as learning tools. Special recognition is hereby accorded to Footsteps to Brilliance. The certificate of commendation is presented by the Mayor of the City of Revere, Massachusetts, on behalf of its citizens, the 16th day of June in the year of our Lord, the 213th, and of the independence of the United States of America, the 236th. And it's signed by our City Clerk, Ashley Melnick, and myself, Mayor Dan Rizzo. I want to thank you for all the good work and the innovation you brought to our city.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Okay, I just want to bring back to focus that our goal with this is to get as many students that are 3 years old and 4 years old registered and using this program so that we can start to track and accumulate data and make calls home and encourage parents to do what we're doing. And I'm trying to figure out which way we go with this. What I am doing this summer, the mayor and I are launching a challenge. If we can find it here, this is a challenge in itself. Just finding the challenge is a challenge.
There we go.
We are, for all of our students that we can register, and up to and including the students that are in grade 2 now and going to grade 3, all of the students in the city, we are challenging this summer to read 1 million words. We can track that use. It's all tracked on the servers and what we're doing in these accounts. So it's extremely important. If you can see the summer slide, it's been documented. And the summer slide exacerbates an achievement gap with children of poverty. Parents who are more wealthy have the ability to do things with their students during the summer that support and stimulate more learning, and they actually have more books in the house, and they follow through with things that go home. Children of poverty, the data shows, over the summer, as the weeks go by, and as the years go by, because they're not doing some structured work in the summer, which is why we have summer programs that actually bring students into our buildings. But Footsteps, with our challenge that the mayor and I are initiating to the population of the city to get 1 million words, we're hoping that this achievement gap can be reversed. so that we are actually crossing paths and closing this gap as we go through. So our challenge, and you can be able to track the challenge on our webpage. As the words, this screen will be on our webpage. You can see the address of it. And as students are reading, this is real time, the red thermometer will be rising according to the number of words that are being read by students, acknowledged by tracking all of their individual data and accumulating it in this form. So I'd encourage you today, all of us in the room, the main objective here is to get students connected. Any parent, any principal, any administrator, anyone in the district that's hearing this, it's going out live to homes now on cable TV channel 22, or channel 8, cable TV channel 8, I think it's out. And we encourage anyone listening to call the Parent Information Center or the Superintendent's office and initiate an account for your young one who will be able to start learning with us during this summer before they even have an opportunity to go to school. We've reached out. There's a banner reminding people floating right across Broadway in front of City Hall. Hopefully that's a reminder for folks. These outreach posters and flyers are around the community everywhere. And the hope is that more and more children will be able to get the word either from the flyers, the posters, the banners, the mayor's office. Anyone can call any one of these places and get connected. So that concludes our program for the afternoon, for the morning here. And again, the goal, please, let's enlist the population. Let's umbrella this community with the technology, proving ourselves that as a model innovation city, we can have students entering our kindergarten classrooms, readers, and we haven't even had them in school yet because of this innovation. Thank you.